Okay guys, in this tutorial I'm going to show you a lot of different things that you may have problems with. Hopefully this may answer some questions or help you out. I'm going to start out drawing, so I'm going to go to sketch first and then align. Remember what we talked about, click on front plane and then we're going to click on front. If you can't find this toolbar, you can come right here and choose front. You can also do a right click here and come down and choose standard views, and that will give you that toolbar. Also, standard is a good one to have. Standard and standard views. You do that by doing a right click and then clicking on them so that they'll show up here. So I click on front. I'm going to draw a shape out. Looks kind of like an eye. I'm going to make a mistake on purpose so I can show you something else here. Alright, just a sketch. Let's talk about a couple things. One of the things I want to talk about is saving. If you save this, you need to go to Save or Save As, and you need to drop down and make sure you go to your NCWIS number. My directory is J Bailey, but you need to go to your NCWIS number and save this. And not only do you need to go to your NCWIS number and save it, but you need to call it something as well. Don't leave it as part 1 or part 2 or part 3 or so forth. Actually call it something. So I could call this eye shape if I want to. Okay, and then make sure you save. Make sure you save. Also, deleting things. I think most of you remember, but in case you need to delete something, you can click on a line and literally delete it. Like hit delete on your keyboard. Okay. Also, if you do something that you didn't want to do, or you want to go back, there is an undo button here, so you can click that. I messed up on this line here. This line should have been horizontal. How can I make that horizontal? There's a few things I can do, but one neat thing I want to show you that can help you out sometimes a lot is to do a right click on this line. And when you do a right click, you have lots of options, but at the top you can make this line horizontal or you can make it vertical. We want to make it horizontal, so I click horizontal. Now that can work out really nice for you, or as you can see, it changed a lot of my stuff here. So you gotta be careful about that. If you didn't like the way that turned out, you could always hit undo. You could also come here and just click this and make this longer here. Make this corner come out some more. So that could be a better option. Sometimes one works better than the other. If I'm putting dimensions in, remember I click on Smart Dimension, I click on the line and let go, and then I just bring my mouse out and I click again. And so let's say we want that to be 10, and we come around. Remember what we talked about, or when you find out with dimensioning, you're going to try to make your numbers close so that you don't get real big changes here. But let's say I keep going around. And I won't finish it up, but let's say I accidentally messed up somewhere. Let's say I made this 20 and it was actually supposed to be 10. How do I go back and change that? If you go in and double click that number, then you can change that number. I'm going to go ahead and extrude this. This is not how I want it to look, but in interest of time, I'm just going to go ahead and extrude this. In fact, I'm going to add some more stuff to it here. Sketch. I'm going to add a circle to it. Remember that yellow error or warning comes up. Make sure you click on the surface first. On the surface you want to draw. I want to draw on the front surface. I'm going to click on this surface and I'm going to draw. Okay. Remember, if I'm doing this, then if I cut, it's going to cut all 3 at the same amount, or if I extrude, it's going to extrude all 3 at the same amount. Features, extrude, and that's fine. Just want to do a couple things here because I want to show you this. Over here is a tree. It's called a tree. It shows you everything you've done so far. So if I come over and click on Extrude 1, that's where I extruded that eye looking shape out. And then if I click on Extrude 2, there goes where I extruded the circles. They have pluses to them, and underneath each one is the sketch that goes with it. So sketch 1 is of the actual eye itself. Sketch 2 is of the circles. This is real important to know where this is at, because sometimes you may need to go back and you want to do something to this. You may want to change like where the circle is at. The way to do that is to come back in, and where you have sketch 2 is to click it and then come up, and at the top left of this window it says edit sketch. So I can click edit sketch, and now I literally can come in and edit the sketch. If I had wanted to, well, before I do that, to get this to go back and be full object again, what you have to do is come up here and click on this button here. It's called Rebuild. It looks like a stoplight. So I'm going to click on that, and now it finishes that up. If I want to change the length of these cylinders out, I'll have to go to the Extrude 2. So I click on Extrude 2, and instead of editing the sketch, I edit Feature. And I can change that here, or I can take the tip of the arrow and move it back and forth. I can check that out, and that one actually doesn't need rebuilding. It's done, but I can hit rebuild just to make sure, and there goes my object. So the tree can be a very useful place. Remember, just click once, and then that little window comes up. You can edit the sketch, or if you're doing a feature, you can edit the feature, and then rebuild to build it back again. One of the problems I noticed a lot of people having, I'm going to zoom in here and sketch again, is I'm going to choose this face. People were drawing things and they were not closing their sketch. Closing your sketch means that each line has to touch each other. If you leave a gap here, then it will not extrude or cut. So I've got to close that sketch right there. If I do close that, then it'll work just fine. Remember, you can go here and click through all to make it go the whole way through. If you really have big troubles and you're just starting your drawing out, sometimes it's just best to click on New and start over again. 3-point arc, I just want to remind you real quick. So again, I'll do another sketch. 3-point arc, click on the surface first. 1, let go. 2, let go, and then 3. I could do it again. 1, let go, 2, let go, and 3. Features, let's cut that one also. Through all. Check. Looks like an eye. I like that. Once in a while, people will accidentally exit out of their sketch and they can't do anything with it and they don't understand why. So I'll do one more sketch here. I'll just do a circle. And for some reason they get off somewhere else. I'm going to hit rebuild to make this happen for us. But I don't exactly understand how they do it, but their circle turns gray. And that means that you've exited out of the sketch. The sketch is still there, but it's not active anymore. You need to make it active again. To do that, all you need to do is find where that sketch is at in your tree, click it, and edit sketch. And now you can get back into it and change that. Last thing I want to show you real quick is people drawing lots of stuff at one time. So for example, if I continue on this sketch, some people I know is just drawing multiple things and everything. You know, they just have so many things. The problem with this is that when you go to features and try to do something with it, if I want to extrude this, nothing happens. Now if you do move your mouse around, you can see where it's trying to choose different things, and you actually can choose different things. So you can actually make some pretty neat stuff here, but it's not going to choose, it doesn't want to do all the circle at one time because it doesn't know what to do. You got so many sketches going on here and they're intersecting each other and crossing each other, it doesn't know what to do. So if you sketch a lot of stuff like that and you can't do anything with it, that's why. So don't get frustrated. Remember, if you get way off, just start a new document. It's not hard. New, okay. Remember that you can do a right click here and get this standard and standard view toolbars. That works out really well. And then you're just going to go sketch, choose what you're going to sketch, whether it be a line or a rectangle. A line, you got to choose front plane, and then the easiest thing to do after that is choose front. If you can't find it there, you can find it right here. Then I start on my origin, draw, 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 match that up, and come back. Okay? Not hard at all. If you're doing your dimensioning objects, you would smart dimension. When you smart dimension, remember that if you don't make it a close size to begin with, then bad things may happen. I'm just going to mention this something else here. Okay. Oh, and remember, you can't over dimension. If it turns yellow, you put too many dimensions on it. So I've got my dimensions there, and when you draw your dimensions on Wednesday, maybe if you draw these objects here, you're going to go to features and extrude them. I think it says extrude them by 30. So you type in 30, hit enter, and check. And there goes your object. Color it and save it. You can save it as L shape. Make sure you save it in your directory.